Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Gianluca Ferranti, CIO of Wonderflow. I joined the company a few months ago, part of this incredible journey and incredible team, and I will be your guest today. I will drive you through this presentation, and I'm extremely excited, and I would like to thank Francesco, that is Media and CMI Senior Manager at Hire, to join us. Francesco has an incredible experience in customer insight, and I'm very happy he decided to share his real world experience implementing the VOC program at Hire. He will present today, it will be the core of the presentation. He will present how Hire is currently leveraging VOC to take data-driven decision and improve their product line and overall the customer experience. So before we start and go into the presentation, may I ask you, Francesco, to introduce yourself, your team and organization, and a little bit of background on your work.
Yes, thank you, Gianluca, and thank you for hosting me. As you anticipated, I'm Francesco Bellomo. I'm the head of media and CMI practice within Hire Europe. That is part of the #1 company in the world when it comes to home appliances. We are based here out of Milan, in Brianza, and we are coordinating all the business across the entire EMEA region.
Thank you. So, funny fact, we both work for a global company, and we are sitting probably a few kilometers apart because I live in Brianza, close to Francesco. So it's quite unusual for Wonderflow to deal with Italian people, and happy to have an Italian guest on the panel today. So let's go into the agenda. The webinar will last for roughly 45 minutes. We will spare 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the presentation to go into a Q&A session. I will invite everyone to post questions through the question button that you should find on the GoToWebinar interface, and we will collect them all during the presentation and have the possibility to ask this question at the very end of the presentation. The webinar is divided into sections. After this introduction, we will start going through what we define the VOC maturity map, how Wonderflow see the evolution of VOC program within a large organization. We will try to highlight, with the support of Francesco, what are the three key ingredients, the constituent of a successful VOC program, and dig deeper into the Hire use case, how Hire has implemented and is implementing VOC within the strategy. We will highlight what are the challenges, what are the organizational best practices, and we will summarize everything in the key takeaways for you to implement into your own company. So let's just straight and go into presenting Wonderflow. Just 2 slides, I promise, but for the ones that are not aware of who we are, Wonderflow is a Dutch startup that has been one of the early provider in AI-driven, or nowadays generative AI technology used for voice of the customer analysis. Our platform, in a nutshell, is an end-to-end SaaS solution that allow company to collect and aggregate scattered raw data and analyze in order to transform the insight in actions that will improve their processes. We do analyze multiple channels. We start from rating and review on e-commerce site, and NPS survey, customer care, support interaction, to enable company in a nutshell to do multiple things, going from analyzing market trends and gain insight on competitive and market challenges, identify and prioritize product feature development, redefine messaging and campaign, and in the end reduce the call center costs. So our platform goes across the entire organization and support different teams to leverage what customers are saying and how customers want to be served. As a company, as I said, we started very early. We are venture backed. We currently work with some of the leading brands worldwide across different sectors and across different geographies. We have been featured by major market analysts that define our platform one of the easiest to be implemented and be managed. And over the year, we were able to create an enormous amount of data that, as you will see later, is now stored in a data lake that is provided to our clients to base their VOC program. So let's jump into the presentation. So Francesco, I know I recently discovered that Hire has a very fantastic achievement, has been named for 16 years in a row as the #1 global appliance provider worldwide. So maybe you can start presenting Hire to our audience.
Yes, definitely. This is true. Just a quick introduction on Haier. Haier, as I was mentioning earlier, is a Chinese company, worldwide leader in home appliances. These are some of the figures that give you, let's say, the size of the magnitude of Haier presence worldwide. As you can see, given the market share that are between 20 and 25% across the main product category, refrigeration, laundry, wine cooler, and freezer, you can imagine that 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 appliances around the world are somehow related to Haier Group brands. Haier is not the only brand. In Europe, for example, we leverage a lot Candy and Hoover brand along with Haier. But there are other brands very, very well established around the globe, like General Electric appliances in North America, Aqua in Japan, and Fisher & Paykel in Australia and New Zealand. And here you can see some of the key facts of the company. It's a 33 billion company with more than 100,000 people worldwide, working pretty much in all countries in the world, with 143 manufacturing centers around the globe. And as you were anticipating, the company was also receiving along the years several accolades. One of these is, let's say, from Euromonitor, being #1 brand in the world for the 16 consecutive years, and is also #1 group or group by group, I mean family of brands in the world for, I think, 10 or 11 years. But there are also others. As you can see, we are the only brand in our industry, part of the Kantar brand Z. We are a Fortune 500 companies. So it's a very, very multinational company that has a big ambition for Europe. And after the acquisition of Candy in 2019, we have been working together to also become #1 in Europe, as we are already in the world and in the several regions around the globe.
Okay, so thank you, Francesco. An impressive number, impressive achievements. So let's dig it into the VOC. What we wanna, where we wanna start today is to giving you an idea. As a young startup, but being privileged to work over the last few years with some leading brand, like obviously Haier as our guest today, but also company like Philips, Versuni, Michelin, Shiseido, and many more. We have been able to assist of all the phases in launching a VOC program or scaling a global VOC program. So we were able to follow through what are the key steps, what are the key elements that we think every company going into this direction needs to consider. We define what we call the maturity map ladder, where we see different steps that the company normally goes through when implementing a VOC program. The first step normally, and I would say that nowadays, most of the companies we encounter has already widely implemented this stage, is to start collecting, structuring data, is running a quality program, NPS surveys, analyzing, rating and review, or having individual contributor into the call center space that analyze call center interaction, live calls and chat and tickets. That's for us is the base, is step number one into the evolution of a VOC program, where normally the feedbacks reside into individual department. So what we see as a second step in evolving of this program is start using what we call the cross-functional insight, where normally through a technology platform, multiple division, multiple organization, multiple BUs within the company start putting together the type of insight that collect and start using this data to take decision. This normally might happen more at an organizational level, less at the technology level, but in stage 2, we see that company start thinking about how to leverage the customer voice, the customer insight into their strategy. And that leads us to the stage number 3, that is where real customer intelligence happen. Normally, this stage is reached through the adoption of a platform. Obviously, when we see our project is where normally a platform like Wonderflow kick in, and the ability is not just to look what happened, but to start using AI to take decision based on prediction, using predictive model to analyze what is the future, how it look like, what is the feature that will lead to a churn, the feature or the customer experience, or what are the feature that we are most likely to bring a future product to the market. And this is where the company moved from just reacting to the insight to proactively addressing potential future issue. It's like moving from looking into the rear mirror to trying to see what's coming next through the platform. And then we finally go into the final 2 stages. These are the stages where the most advanced company are, and clearly higher that we ask to present the project is where they are in today, is moving into having a more strategic approach to voice of the customer, is where the insight has been shared across different levels of the organization, not only different departments, but where the C-suite are involved and where customer experience becomes one of the leading ambition of the company that has words like customer obsession, or they focus mostly on customer journey, customer experience optimization. And obviously that's not only in dealing with customer, but it also goes hand to hand in developing current and future product. And obviously in this phase, feedback loops become very relevant. Continuous improvement is one of the key leading indicators that the companies are in this phase. And to finalize, what are the best performer are the companies that goes into stage 5, where the impact and where the customers is really part of the overall discussion, is present, is in every meeting, sometimes is physically present into the discussion. I like very much the anecdote of probably the company that is recognized as the most customer obsessed company in the world, that is Amazon. The story says that in every C-level meeting, there is an empty chair where Jeff Bezos say that's the chair where the customer should sit in. So how do we move from this, let's say, maturity map into the ingredients, into the key element to judge how to move into this project? And so we recognize phases. We recognize 3 key elements that we present here to start building or escalating or growing a successful VOC program. First of all, there is a fundamental, the data availability, data collection. It's all about how you gather the consumer feedback. We started a few years ago analyzing ratings and review on e-commerce site that for many industry is still one of the major source of customer insight. But then we rapidly see the need to add additional channel, and nowadays we see social media monitoring, content setter interaction to be de facto the standard backbone that we build a successful VOC program in any company. Then there is a second key ingredient in the strategy, that is the data analysis. And here is where generative AI, language processing, sentiment analysis, all these key technology that now is available will help the organization to organize and navigate through the customer insight. We have seen a lot of trend in this area. The leading company nowadays are asking us to start including multiple and scattered sources. For example, the very latest, the new channel that we started analyzing, for example, are forums. Things are platform like Reddit, where consumer or prospect discuss in an extensive way about the brands, the products, and their need. And in the final stage is the decision intelligence, where the generative AI will help us analyze all these trillions, in some case, of data points and make a clue out of the needs, what is the real insight, and how we should move into this phase. So if we move to the next slides, please, Adnan, we have these ingredients that are really becoming key into the evaluation of the 360 view of the customer and how the analysis can lead to a successful deployment. But let's go into the real hands-on experience. So Francesco, maybe you can guide us through how you implemented this strategy into Hire.
Yes, definitely. So let me make a step back, because this webinar is named Zero Distance to Consumer, and this is not let's say a funny title that we invented for this purpose, but this is a mantra within Hire that we have been using since ever to stress the importance of having, let's say, the consumers at the center of every decision that we make. So the voice of customer is a consequence. The voice of customer program is a consequence of a real and clear vision that company has.
So Francesco, sorry if I interrupt you. You mean that the vision comes first, and then you started the program, and obviously in the end you search for a technology.
Exactly.
This is what you say.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. So we started the program in Europe under, let's say, before the Candy was acquired by Hire, so in 2017-18, and at the time we were only focusing on what we call the NPS, so solicited feedback requested to our customers via email usually, and we were able to analyze just structured data. So NPS is an example, but any numerical data, any quantitative numbers that we can easily turn into percentage, average. This was already the first starting point to understand, let's say, how our customers were perceiving our product or our services. But then a couple of years ago, we decided to make a big step ahead on the ladder that Gianluca was mentioning, and we moved from, let's say, the first, second steps pretty much into solid 4. We aim to go into the 5th step. And we decided to also analyze plenty of data that are available and that are unsolicited data. So all the reviews that customers are leaving spontaneously on the main retail platforms like Amazon, Unieuro, MediaMarkt, Currys, all the retailers, without ourselves asking for a specific review. And we want also to move from just analyzing structured data, meaning numbers, also into non-structured data, so analyzing exactly what they were saying, so analyzing the verbatim. And this is, as you can imagine, for a company like us with thousands and thousands of review in several languages, in several markets, it's impossible to be done manually. So we, to this extent, we were looking for AI to help us. So now we can see that we are pretty much very well equipped to leverage all the data across these four quadrants. And this is happening along all the journey of the consumer. So we are trying to measure all the touch points along all the journey of the consumers. We are not yet 100% covered, but we have plans. So, but as you can see from the products, that for us is the main touch points of people and customers using our products in their home, into website, app. All our products are connected via to an app for also remote usage, down to the customer care. That could be a contact center, a call center, or chat, but even the repair center when this happens. So with this in mind, we decided a couple of years ago to focus on the rating and reviews, because there were a lot of information available for our products, but in particular also on the competitors' products. And this would allow us to compare our performance with the benchmark of the market, or with some competitors in particular, to measure our strength and our weakness and our gaps towards these competitors. And so we decided to start collecting and analyzing all this data. And I have to say that after 1 year and a half, we are covering like 10 markets in Europe. I think now 50 retail channels. So this slide, maybe it's a bit outdated. We are covering also the app stores, as we were mentioning. Our higher strategy is rooted on the IoT, on the appliances connected to the app. So for sure, we need to understand also what people think about our app on the two main stores, so the App Store from Apple and the Play Store for Google. And this has brought us to track pretty much 4,500 SKUs across different categories. Our MDA industry is made out of a lot of different categories: refrigerators, washing machine, dishwasher, as you can imagine. This gives us the opportunity to carry on several types of analysis. So first of all, here we have some example, a comparative analysis. So where we want to compare how ourselves as a group, or ourselves as a single brand, or even at a single product level, how we are comparing to the market, or to a particular competitors that we want to study. And so we are able to, for sure, to understand immediately how our rating is compared to our benchmark, and how the different aspects of the rating are influencing this rating. So we are able to understand if what are the driver of the rating, both the one that are driving dissatisfaction and also the one that are driving satisfaction. Sometimes we have found that the same driver could work positively and negatively. Sometimes you have found that there is some topic or some area that is only working on one of the area. But this is key for us to understand how to fix as much as we can the products that are in the market nowadays, but especially is informing our product and R&D teams on the next generation of products. And after pretty much 18 months of this program being launched. So at the end of 2023, there's already a lot of improvement that we have made. We are also collecting data, as I was mentioning, on other channels, not only on the spontaneous feedback on the retailer website, but we are also leveraging our own media, our own touch points, like, for example, the website, where we are asking customers to provide us feedback. And this comes in different areas. It could be feedback on the website itself, could be feedback on the products, could be feedback on the services. And this is also very, very precious for us. And same things is happening on the app. People using our app have always the possibility to feedback and suggesting improvements when it comes to enrollment of the app, additional function that they would like to see in the next phase of the app. So this is giving us a 360-degree understanding of the consumers along all the touch points.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So here we can understand why the zero distance, let's say, mission for the company. And we discussed about the journey, how the technology is just an enabler for VOC program that has to be, let's say, widely spread across the entire organization. Just to be for Wonderflow, our mission is to democratize the access of the customer voice within organization. So our ambition as a company is not only to collect and analyze the feedback, but to be able to spread this voice within the organization. Francesco, what are the, let's say, organizational implication to deploy such a program? What is the involvement of the top management? What are the cross-departmental challenges that you face during this journey?
So this is a project that, to be successful, needs, let's say, a buy-in from the entire organization. So when we started discussing, let's say, this acceleration in the program a couple of years ago, in particular with another colleagues of mine, we were able, let's say, to convince the importance of such initiative to the top management, the CEO, and first. So we have the CEO as a sponsor, not just because of the financial implication that such a program can for sure encompass in terms of human resources and budget, but also because the success is measured on how all the other functions in the company are then aligned and ready to act upon the insight that we are able to generate with the analysis. And because what we are able to collect and feedback are topics and teams that span from obviously product team, R&D team, quality team, but also on customer service, also on marketing, because there's a lot about communication misalignment, about logistics, because our product anyhow are shipped from central warehouses into the house of millions of customers. IoT, we have been talking about the application. So all these different departments now are, let's say, eager to listen from us about the consumer point of view and act upon the feedback that we are able to provide them, or also asking, they are asking us some particular question, and we deep dive into the data or set up some ad hoc analysis in order to give these answers. But this is the key. So the sponsorship from the top, and then the full buy-in from all the different departments in the company.
Yeah, I see. In fact, normally we identify 4 major stakeholder for any successful VOC program. The vision, as you mentioned, the CIO vision, the program that act as a sponsor, the importance of having a project owner to centralize. And I wonder how many companies are nowadays creating job profile for people owning the voice of the customer, the power and the strengths of a champion, an advocacy person that led the program across the organization and unify the needs and provide the insight, and obviously all the execution level, the single user. In some cases, we notice that the organization typically deploy two type of organization. Either they centralize the VOC function into a small group where there is a very strong person, or they distribute across the different organization where hundreds of people might access the platform to get the data. But let's move to another step, the KPI. How do you measure how it's going? I mean, it seems there is a lot of opportunity, but how you see if you deliver on the promise?
Yeah, this is another point that show, let's say, the commitment of the company into the VOC. So it's not just a matter of measuring and taking actions, but the company has decided to use the data that we are collecting and that we track on a regular basis into the company balance scorecard that obviously contains the financial information and many other key elements. But we decided together that we cannot have a balanced scorecard if we don't have also, let's say, the point of view of consumers. And to this extent, the voice of customer is where we are, let's say, the source of the voice of consumers that is feeding into the balanced scorecard. So this is something quite new that we have been built in 2025, beginning of 2025. So now the voice of customers somehow is also feeding into the scorecard. So it's in all, let's say, the top management meetings where they track, let's say, how the company is performing. They are also tracking how consumers are reacting to our initiative. And on top of this, some of the KPI that form the MBO of people and managers in the company are also related to this type of metrics. This shows how important is these types of decision in order to make the program a success and changing or moving the mentality towards, let's say, more types of customer obsession. Without, let's say, KPI tracked on a regular basis and impacting the MBO and impacting also the balance scorecard, somehow this could be seen as, let's say, secondary importance. But these two moves that have been made over the last probably 12 months show the commitment and are, I guarantee you, are bringing a lot of results, because now people are much more interested than ever in these numbers and in acting upon this number in order to improve them.
Yeah, I see. In fact, if we see how our customer base is using KPI to measure the impact, we normally see two types of KPI. One, the strategic KPI that obviously directly reflect to the balance scorecard and the MBOs. Normally, they measure the program or the project ROI, but also we see that the successful project goes to also very precise measurement of the decision, the number of decisions that has been made through the VOC program. And then obviously there are what we call the operational KPI, how the program is impacting the company in terms of volumes, how many channels they are monitoring. You mentioned the fact that the slides that probably you prepared a few months ago are already outdated because the channel from 40 became 50 is a good sign of progression. The number of product SKUs that are monitored to the program are obviously key element to evaluate the adoption and the increasingly impact of this program. And you say, Francesco, again to you, what matter? How does you maintain the brand promise through the program?
Yeah, this is another key element of the success of the Voice of Customer program. It's something that I think we have read in the books already, but then we actually we had the proof in this 1 year and a half of deeping dive into the customer review. So the real point here is to not necessarily promise the impossible, but align the promise with what we are able to deliver. So, and this is something that is sticking in the company. So to not overpromise in order to align the delivery, the expectation with the final outcome. So sometimes we need to deliver more to match our promise, but in other case we can also do the other way around. We can, let's say, lower a little bit the promise in order to make sure that what we promise is still matching on the delivery. So as this chart is very well explaining the situation in the middle, it's what we should avoid, having promise higher than delivery. It's fine in both directions. What is on the left, lower promise so that they match delivery, or how you can see on the right hand side, increasing delivery so that it's still matching the promise. So this is what makes customers happy and rating with a higher score.
Yeah, and goes back to the going to zero distance to be close as much as possible with your clients. So we are heading up to the end of this webinar. To me, it sounds really interesting. So Francesco, thank you for what you share with me and with the rest of the audience. If we want to, let's say, wrap up with some takeaways, some recommendations, what do you think are the three element? How can you say, okay, if I need to start a project, where should I focus?
So first, for sure, it's a kind of an internal evaluation of in which stage the company is, which are the capabilities and the processes currently in place, so that you can really understand what is available now and how you are acting as a company. And then you can, let's say, plan how you can time after time moving up to the ladder. And the second point is when you decide that it's the moment to, let's say, scale and making your program bigger. For sure, the organizational readiness, it's important. So the sponsorship from the top, it's very, very, it's going to help you a lot if you decide to embark in this journey, because the sponsorship from the top will also means that all the function, all the other department will be somehow willing to be reactive and to cooperate and to work on the outcome of the analysis that will come out of the VOC project. And last but not least, also a perfect combination, as we call here, of technology and internal talent. So these two things cannot drive success if taken alone. So you need for sure the right technology, the right tools to collect and analyze data. But you also need, let's say, an internal people fully dedicated to be the champion of the program, that can really deep dive into the data and can evangelize the outcome across all the organization over and over and again, until the organization can start, as it's happening now in higher, moving on their own. But at the very beginning, you need to really be focused on pushing and constantly this information.
Okay, cool. So thank you so much. We are running out of time, but as I promised at the beginning, I would like to leave some room because maybe some of our guests would like to ask a few questions. And I have already a few, so maybe I can kick start with this one. This is very interesting because we spoke about the vision, we spoke about the sponsorship. And the first question is, Francesco, what are the best way to get the buy-in and sponsorship from the leadership team? I don't know in your case where the project started, but in case you need to get some buy-in from your team, what can you recommend?
Yeah, it's still a matter of, let's say, proof the importance of a good, let's say, reputation in terms of reviews online. And we have found back in the days a study from McKinsey that was proving how, let's say, a small increase in the average rating into the consumer electronic or home appliances industry can massively impact the NSV, the revenue, and the profitability. And we have also noticed how even before we formalize this product, how our best rating products were also the one that were providing us more revenue and more profitability. There are also something more concrete, especially on channels like Amazon. If your products do not have, let's say, a decent score, I think the threshold is 4 in terms of 4 out of 5. You are not even entitled to enter into particular promotional program like the Prime Day and or Brand Day and other activation. So we started to realize from bottom up, from the markets, from the sales, from the marketing, that we need to do. We were needing to do something in order to take it seriously, because what are good argument and good story to sell product are not necessarily the same that are to drive good satisfaction after sales. This is another thing that we have learned. So we have been talking a lot about purchasing drivers, studying what are the purchasing drivers, the different category, and we have realized that these purchasing drivers somehow are not overlapping with what we call now satisfaction drivers, that probably are other aspects that are a little bit ignored during the purchasing phase, but then become extremely important in the overall satisfaction, and so in the rating that then people give on the retailer websites.
Yeah, interesting. So you start seeing patterns on different clients in different stages of their customer journey, and so that leads to another question. Again, we are over time, but since I see from the stats that no people are leaving, maybe we take another couple of minutes. We will make sure to answer all the questions that we will not be able to address live through via channel, via email, and so on. But the other question is. What's the cycle of your program? How often do you analyze the data? Is it on a daily basis? Is it on a regular basis? What's the cadence?
There are official meetings scheduled on a monthly basis where we present to the broader audience, let's say, the latest result of the previous months, and also the action that have been taken, or how some of the action are progressing in terms of implementation. But between one meeting and the other, there is a lot of, let's say, analysis and deep dive between the VOC team and all our product team, in order to make sure that every single aspect is properly captured. So to answer in short your question, our cadence is monthly, but between one month and the other, there's a lot of work that needs to be undertaken in order to be ready.
Okay, and so there are a bunch of other questions, but there is a very last one that I would like to ask. So thank you for staying a few more minutes. That is, what's the next step? It seems that you have done a lot so far. You are increasing the scope and the channel. If you have to say where you see your program in the next couple of years, where do you think you will end heading up?
Yeah, we still want to consolidate it, what we are doing, probably also trying to increase also a little bit further the scope in terms of product categories that are now that we would like to include, and probably also some additional markets or channels. And this when it comes to rating and reviews. More in general, going back to the journey of one of the previous slides, we are going to try to map and measure every single step and every single touch point. So we will be focusing much more on customer service to measure how we are able to solve possible issue or just question of our customers. And any other channels that we will or touch points that we will define as a priority. So it's I think this is a never-ending project. So it's more a process than a project. So it's there will be still something to add, to review, to adjust, to fix. So it will never end. It's but I can say that today, after 18 months, yeah, probably this is we are moving from, let's say, the project phase. To me, project is more kind of a kickstart of something new, and now it's becoming, let's say, a business as usual. And as such, will come and will last and will expand over the years. Yeah.
So Francesco, thank you very much. Extremely insightful. I think our audience got a lot to think about. As I say, we will address all the other, there are 6 or 7 more questions. Unfortunately, we do not have time to answer live, but I think we will be able to share the slides. So if there is any more need, we will get back in touch with you offline. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Francesco. Thank you for the audience, and see you next time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.